Good morning, guys. Hope you're all doing well today. I'm coming at you with the next excerpt of my first novel, Black and White Odyssey of Eden. Here we go. Alan destroyed himself intentionally once more, but out of his compassion for Anna. He prodded his mind to find some way to console her once more. He knew it was not her fault. There's no need to be afraid, Anna. I understand. This only seemed to make her increasingly mortified, as her body was noticeably shaking at this point. Alan entirely sealed himself off from her. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Maybe in a few days, he would at least be able to give her some peace by reminding her of her worth. But not now. The adrenaline pumping through her body ensured that nothing would get to her in that moment. She quickly opened the door and leapt out onto the sidewalk, surrounded by suburban homes with perfectly hedged front yards. I'll see you later. But before he could finish his sentence, she had slammed the door closed and began walking rapidly away from his car, with her arms clasped across her chest. He still wondered what he had done wrong, but no longer felt emotion attached to his own internal plea. It was now perfectly scientific. It was an equation with variables that needed tinkering to find out a correct solution. That was all it was to him now. Next chapter. The Great Divide. Blood gushed from the scientist's skull as he stood there 40 feet in front of the pulsating monitor, representing the facade of the ship. The machine swiftly eroded his meager defenses, leaving his arm mangled and skull destroyed. Exposed bone blared above his right eye, having taken the brunt of the attack. He had lost count thousands of years ago. How many times had he tried and failed to change the reality that left him alone? This point always was the pinnacle of his failure. At this point, he remembered nothing of his past, only this moment, the finest details, anywhere he could possibly find an advantage, any means by which he could exploit an opening. He couldn't even remember his original name. How many lives had he sacrificed? How much blood had he shed? So many times, always to fail, always to endure the tragedy. The lives he sacrificed were none other than his own. He cared minimally about his own life. There would be nothing left. He knew this. This was the last stand. If he could not break the cycle here, nothing would remain. Nothing. He had no more energy for tears, no more time for patience, but they flowed nonetheless. The pain struck him at a fully conscious and subconscious level. He could not find it. He slowly knelt to the ground, sullen from the endless hours battling the monstrosity before him, letting out a silent moan. He made a futile attempt to nurse his arm with his thigh, which itself was in shreds and bleeding profusely. It only caused him greater pain, but he had no choice. At this point, it mattered little. His mind was nearly mute to physical pain now, as he kneeled there, eyes dilated, cracked and bloodied teeth gritting. He pulled his last electronic pylon out of his pack excuse me, and placed it softly into the damp, cold dirt. His mind was an impenetrable, unspeakable agony, erased from everything else. He clicked an invisible button along its side, which caused it to produce a translucent pale green sphere around the group of 20-odd downtrodden men, women, and children standing behind him. Not one of them was paying attention to him, minds impregnated with terror. They were desperately attempting to escape the turmoil that surrounded them all. The The horizon painted a deep red with blazing fire, those that could only be produced by the destruction of proud edifices of some of the greatest structures ever created by man. They gave way to a sky darkened with soot in every direction, blotting out the sun with hellish black clouds that bellowed loudly as they produced enormous columns of lightning in petrifying and rapid succession. The once mighty river behind them that separated the isle from the mainland on which they stood had turned into a bubbling tar-like substance. That's it for this section. I will come at you with the next one tomorrow. Love y'all. Peace.